I'm Jill Stein, and I am here as a Green Party candidate for president, and I'm here to support the amazing and critically important work that Occupy Wall Street and Occupy Student Debt are doing. Because we're at a breaking point, and students especially are at a breaking point. They are carrying around $1 trillion in debt now. It's more than credit card debt. And, you know, they come out of college up to their ears in debt, and then they're facing prospects of high unemployment. So, you know, they are really getting the worst of both worlds here, and there's no need for it. There's no need for it because we can pay for this. Higher education, public education in general, is a human right. Higher education is part of that right. A college degree was understood as essential in the 20th century, and it was covered as a public good. But now in the 21st century, a college degree is essential, and it really needs to be covered as a public good as well. We found a way to bail out the banks who caused the crash of the economy. It's time to bail out the students who are the victims of that crashing economy. So we need to bail out the students now and invest in higher education. For every dollar that was put into the GI Bill, which was basically public higher education, $7 were returned in benefits to the economy and to the taxpayers in our treasury. So this is not an expense, this is actually an investment that pays off incredibly well.
Question, so you're running for President of the United States on the Green Party ticket. How did you come about making a decision? I mean, it's pretty big, you know, it's a leap. And a lot of people will say, well, you know, they don't have a chance to win. I don't know why they're bothering running. Would you mind explaining why you're running and how you came to that decision?
Sure. I mean, and who expected the students in Tunisia or in Egypt to win their political battle when they basically got on Facebook and on the internet and turned out by the millions and completely, you know, booted out entrenched dictators. So, you know, I think we're in a totally different era right now in terms of what we can do. But that aside, of course, my campaign is an underdog. I think, though, we're in a psychological war, and it's really important to reject the, you know, the psychological warfare being inflicted on us. This notion that we can't be heard unless we're going to win the office. Because simply to be heard changes the dynamics of the game. It completely changes the playing field. And in fact, to look back over the last 10 years, this silence, where has this silence gotten us? You know, we've learned that silence is not an effective political strategy. People have been told to be quiet and vote for the lesser evil for at least the last 10 years, and we've seen that silence, you know, hasn't done the trick. In fact, this politics of fear has brought us everything that we're afraid of: the expanding war, the collapsing economy, the meltdown of the climate, the endless Wall Street bailouts and declining wages for workers. You name it, all those things we were going to avoid by being good little boys and girls and holding our tongues. We've gotten the opposite of, well, that is, we've gotten all those problems in spades. They didn't go away by being silent. So the point here is that we have everything to gain by regaining our political voice, and we need to answer this politics of fear with the politics of courage and start standing up for what we need, because it's not only about winning the office, it's also about driving the agenda forward. And the minute we begin to do that, we force these solutions that are widely supported by the public for free public higher education, for jobs for everyone, to end unemployment. Let's have a Green New Deal, for rescuing the climate, for health care as a human right, for bringing the troops home and actually funding our communities and our needs here at home instead of squandering trillions of dollars in wars that we don't need overseas. So we have everything to gain by standing up for ourselves and for this vision that the public supports. So, you know, let's take this breaking point and turn it into a tipping point in this election and start to take back the promise of democracy and the peaceful, just future that really is within our reach.
That's great. One last thing. Everything you said is powerful and great and very inspirational. One of my biggest complaints is now they don't seem to let third-party candidates into the national debates. Is there any strategy on how to get into debates? Do you know anything about the criteria this year?
Yes. The criteria are usually to get to 15% in the polls. And when you put together the students who are being slammed by debt, the 50 million people who need health care and don't have it, the people whose civil liberties, and that is to say all of us, whose civil liberties are on the line, and the people who know it, you just put those groups together, let alone the 6 million people who've lost their homes and the additional 6 million who are in the pipeline. You know, we are being raked over the coals right now, and in no uncertain terms. And if the people who have everything to lose by allowing this charade of a democracy to continue, if we stand up, you know, we are going to make waves like the world hasn't seen. So the strategy is to get to my website, jillstein.org, sign up as a volunteer, that way you'll get the newsletter, pass it around to your friends, get on Facebook, like, share, and repost every day. Let's go viral, and the world will never be the same. We could lose it all, or we could win it all. How about we win it all? Let's make it happen.
Thank you very much.